Hey everyone, thanks for joining this episode of Circus Time Review Podcast, where this week we're going to be doing a live commentary of Star Wars The Force Awakens, Blu-ray, DVD, digital, whichever may have you. Please join in on the fun. But before we get started, as always, I always just want to get intros to everybody who's joining the Jedi Council today. We'll let everyone do a quick intro for themselves. We have CP from One That Like It Reviews. What's going on, CP? Our Sith for the day.
Yeah, I'll be the Sith. There's always two, though. Remember that.
No, whoever your apprentice will be by the end of the movie, we'll see. We'll see. And then we got Tyrell Lisser from Tyrell Listen Movie Channel, and also from Pantilt Zoom. Pantilt Zoom. Sorry, I don't know why I said it that way. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. I'm excited to talk some Star Wars.
Oh yeah. And then Lee, our Jedi, our main Jedi, returning back from Drum Dums. Welcome back.
Thank you, Jedi Drum Dums here. Just got the Steelbook. I'm ready to do this.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what? We should probably do that in case people haven't bought it yet. Lee, why don't you show that off? I'll show this one off.
Yeah. What do you guys
Okay,
got?
yeah, this is the Steelbook Best Buy exclusive with Captain Phasma on the back. So, yeah.
That's the Best Buy special? Is that the only one you can get in Best Buy?
Man, my Best Buy had tons of these, actually. I thought there was going to be, like, just a few, and I got there, and there's, like, freaking... They had at least, like, 30 of them on the floor.
Oh.
So, if you want it, go get it.
I know where I'm going.
Yep, go get it, man. Beautiful.
What about you, CP? Which one did you
What I have
get?
here, this is the Target edition. It's kind of flimsy. It's cardboard, fold out.
Nice.
It's neat. But again, it's actually a lot thinner than a normal Blu-ray case. Just know that if that's important to you, it's a little flimsy.
Could be sturdier, I guess.
Yeah. I would have preferred it. I mean, I have doubles, so I'm all right. It's just a little disappointing. But they have the extra 20 minutes of features that are digital only. They're not on any disc, so know that too.
See, yeah, that's where I'm starting. That's where I get itchy on the whole. They're spreading out all this content. You're like, just put it on one and maybe pay for just one.
Right. Yeah. Take my
How it
$100.
fits nicely on the Steelbook, by the way.
Nice. Well, shall we go ahead and get started with the movie and
Absolutely.
kind of give our input? For those who are watching live or after the fact, this is going to be spoiler. We'll probably be talking some spoilers throughout the movie, so it's best that you probably have seen the movie coming in, but if this is your first time, you are warned. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started and just kind of go with the flow. So if everybody is synced up to a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, right?
Yep.
All right, so I'll count down from 3, and we'll just press play at that point. We'll go 3, 2, 1, go.
Play. 3 and or on 3?
Is it 3 then go, or after the go 3? There's 3 go.
Too late.
All right. Can we hear each other's?
Hope.
Yep.
Yeah, there's that opening crawl that everybody loves so much.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody share an experience that they had with the opening crawl. Go, Tyrell.
Honestly, when I got into the opening crawl, I was kind of shocked how short it was. Usually it's been longer, but I'm not sure. I think it's gotten shorter over the course of the existence of Star Wars, but I was pretty surprised by how short it was.
I was, yeah, same thing. I was like, it's really short, but I like how I got to the point, and I was really liking the no political talk on it. I was like, okay, this is not like
Thank God,
they've gone completely away from it, so I was happy about that.
CP?
Yeah, I got a round of applause. I was in a pretty early show. I was in the first show possible on Thursday.
Yeah.
And I remember, everybody just it was words. People fired up about words.
Yeah. Every opening crawl that I've seen, it's been just thunderous applause.
Yeah.
Of course, I always try to see Star Wars opening night. I've seen Return of the Jedi all the way up to this one, and every single time, where he goes crazy. It's the only movie too, I think, that
Well,
I've ever been to.
it's
Where
always
they
the
do
burst
that.
of emotions when the Star Wars logo comes up and starts
Yeah.
shooting at you. Like,
Yeah.
it's
No,
it's
yeah.
time.
We had a guy
Yes.
stand up and yell in full Chewbacca uniform, like, Star Wars! Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I love this.
hmm
Hmm.
The Star Destroyer,
It's
and
one of
it's
the
just
best.
all black.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I really like
covers-
the transition here too. Once the ships go by and it goes right inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
the
hoping
cinematography-
that they wouldn't I was hoping they would open it with, the Star Destroyer or something like we usually see.
It's
Which
got to start
they did.
in space.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to start in space. But yeah, when we first see all these stormtroopers, I just had like chill bumps down my spine, and I just love the way that they went back and they used, the old traditional,
Mhm.
no CGI for the stormtroopers. Just love that.
We have BB-8 as well,
Yep.
making the introduction right off the bat. Great addition. It could have gone a couple ways. It could have gone Jar Jar, or it could have gone R2 kind of thing, and it went that way. It's for the kids, but it's a pretty compelling character in itself.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That
yeah.
first line, it just went by. This should make things better, or this will make things right. Did you guys recognize that the first time, thinking there was a shot at the prequels, or you're like, oh, it's just the first
Oh
line?
wow.
That
Yeah.
is good, yeah.
I didn't recognize anything my first viewing because I was just, it's Star Wars, and I remember I was just completely.
Taking it in.
I was taking it all in, like, oh my God, we got a brand new Star Wars movie, and I can't pay attention to anything that's going on hardly because my mind is just freaking out that everything, I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
So when I went back the second time, that's when I really took the story in.
Yeah, your eyes are darting around. You're trying to kind of get immersed in everything that's going on. New characters right off the bat too. So
Yeah.
it's like you're some of these subtle details that we know are there. You kind of miss the first time.
Yeah, and this opening scene is so good too.
hmm
I get chill bumps right now just watching it. This is the fourth time I've seen it.
I think they said they shot this in Pinewood, in the back lot of that.
Yeah.
Which is
Oh,
crazy.
Pinewood Studios.
It's got JJ's flair, but at the same time, we're dealing with, even this, we had a lot of blue screen here, but at the same time, we're still on the back lot. We still have physical representations of some of this, so we're getting that old and that new kind of together, and that's special, you know what I mean?
So refreshing because the prequels, every scene almost, it just looked like a computer screen backdrop every time. And
Yeah.
this took me back to, 4, 5, and 6.
I think of all the scenes in the movie, this probably has the most set feel to it. Like, out of any, it's not exactly a gripe. It's just, if you had to pick one, this is probably the one scene where you could really tell that they're on a set. It's
That's
Yeah.
what I kind of was thinking. I was like, I liked it, but like the blackout of the backdrop is
Yeah.
like, you can tell
Yeah.
they're
the
hiding
lighting's
something.
awkward. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it still
I
looks
love how they
great
just jump right
nonetheless.
into action too. There's no setting up the plot with political stuff. It's just action right away.
Oh,
Yeah.
It just moves, man.
It
It
moves, yeah.
moves.
The whole movie really moves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's JJ again, because if you watch Star Trek, if you watch Super 8, if you watch any of those, it moves the whole time.
Oh yeah. Even the camera's moving with you. Just
Yeah.
constant movement.
And that can be a gripe, because there are moments in this where it could settle down a little bit more, but overall, it's really fast.
Yeah, actually, in one of the special features, him and Kasdan said when they were writing it, they were actually walking around to
Right.
make sure that they had the constant movement feel.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the whole blood on the helmet thing?
I dig it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I think the way I don't know. This is one of those scenes that they probably had a better take, but I like the way the symbolism, I guess, to it.
Mhm.
There was a gasp in my theater when that happened.
Yes, there
Everybody was
was.
like, "Oh, blood on a stormtrooper?
Yeah.
This is new."
This is one of my favorite parts of the intro right here. Just him showing up, Kylo Ren shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
hmm
What a grand entrance.
You had the lens flares just a second ago too.
Yep, there's one right there. Too.
Oh,
Yeah, pretty tame for JJ. I like them. I personally like them, and I think it kind of adds to the whole sci-fi element there. It worked well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lars von Trier is such an interesting character. I like that they kill him, because because there's just so much more to question. And if anything, Star Wars is about building a universe too, through the movies, through the extended stuff like the comics and stuff, and just killing off a character that's so mystical and like old like that. That's kind of cool. I dig that.
Yeah. Do you guys think this? I think the biggest complaint I hear about Star Wars: Force Awakens is that it's. Some people have even said like a direct ripoff of Episode 4, which I don't see. But what do you guys think about that?
I agree, but it's not a complete rip of Episode 4.
Yeah.
Secondly, what's the problem with that? Like Episode 4 is
to me, it's just
a hero's
beats.
journey.
You know? It just has beats that Episode 4 has, but it's still its own thing.
Yeah, I mean they follow cues, but Episode 4 was a hero's journey, so it's not like that was incredibly original. So like.
That's another good part right there. Sorry.
Oh yeah, this part's so good.
But no, you're right. They had to bring these certain beats back because they had to make it recognizable to the people who used to love it. But then they had to bring in like people like Oscar Isaac for the new crowd. So they had to have that mixture, and they did it pretty well. But sometimes he felt a little heavy-handed with the callbacks.
I think it's an unfair criticism because. Still, I mean, just about every major scene, there's something new. You can still say, oh, the plot might be similar, but I have never seen that before.
You're never gonna have anybody that's really like you can always have that crowd that likes to gripe because we remember the prequels. Not a lot of people like them, and they're like, oh, we want more of the old type of Star Wars, the original Star Wars. We want more of that. So what did JJ do? He took those things that we all loved about the original Star Wars movies and brought them to the present and added some new beats to them. Yes, they did odes. Like he talks about the cantina and stuff being a huge inspiration for Mazes and things like that. But like people like that, and if you walk away, you would hear people talk about, oh, they didn't do that. So it's just they like to gripe about things that really don't need to be griped about. The whole Death Star, Star Destroyer thing like that. That is the only one that I don't like. A bigger battle station, but I can live with that. that.
Oh yeah. I mean, you think about it. How? What's the time? How many minutes in are we? Are we even 15 minutes in yet?
No, probably about 10.
6 minutes. Yeah, maybe
so
10.
You have Kylo Ren freeze the bullet. You have some funny stuff from Poe Dameron with the who talks first, do you talk first? There's more comedy in the first 10 minutes of Episode 7 than there was in perhaps the entire prequel trilogy. Like right away. You're 10 minutes in, and it feels like things are different. Like they get you right away, and it's just.
And we're talking about comedy that's smart comedy, a lot more smart than some of the prequel comedy. We're not. The prequel comedy was full of these very juvenile things, which is fine. Like there's a place and time for that, but at the same time, I think that it needs to be a bit smarter, and they definitely did that there. It's more physical.
Yeah, it didn't feel like forced laughter. Like I remember watching the prequel trilogy in the theater, and we're getting a new Star Wars movie. Everybody's freaking out, and so a lot of the comedy was just, like you said, it wasn't smart comedy, but people laughed anyway because they were just so happy that it was a new Star Wars movie. But then after they realized, oh, that wasn't funny.
Hoodoo.
That pan to Phasma and stuff's interesting because I feel like Phasma is a character that could be very, very important to the whole Star Wars thing, and it's a very interesting character. I'm a little bit disappointed in the whole turnout, but I'm hoping there's going to be more of that in the future, more Phasma.
I think they're going to pull a Batman v Superman and redo what they had done with her. Like, oh, we made a mistake. Let's bring her, bring her in Episode 8. Give her a little bit more to do.
They keep comparing her to Boba Fett, and if we're going to mirror the original trilogy, there was 0 Boba Fett in Episode 7, so already you're ahead.
That's true.
I don't understand what the gripe is.
I don't see hardly any similarities character-wise to Boba Fett, really.
Just a badass in a hat. That's basically it.
Yeah. Now, Rey. The introduction of Rey is super interesting. I was very unsure about the whole idea of the new cast, like I think everybody was. And Daisy Ridley, from the first beat, I think does an exceptional job. It feels like she's in the world, which helps obviously because you're using real sets like we've been talking about. But it just feels that she embodies the character so well. You know that it's somebody that you can get behind right off the hop. I think even more so than Luke. Luke was kind of annoying in the beginning. I was like,
Yeah.
He was.
Rey is somebody that you can instantly get behind.
Some might even say Luke was really annoying in Empire Strikes Back when he's with Yoda.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I mean, he had some moments there where you're like, you're being a freaking annoying pissant, you know?
Yeah.
Plus it helps that she's got a great theme that goes with
Yeah.
it.
I was
just
just-
gonna
I was-
say
I was
that the
waiting for
music
my
in this scene is so good.
This is where like it really completely captivated me because the imagery, the music. It was the first time where I actually noticed the music and everything felt full.
Yeah, because that was a kind of a new musical beat than the rest of the so it was something new.
Mm-hmm.
I actually listen to that song on my phone quite often actually.
Oh yeah, it's on a couple playlists.
Yeah, it's great. Oh man, it really takes you back to episode 4 of this thing.
And so this is Nima's outpost, and I guess Nima is like a hut, so like a Jabba hut. I don't know if how related they are, but I guess it's what they're relating it to.
Yeah.
Look at that thing pulling the thing in the background. That's a real costume. You know what I mean? That's good.
Yeah.
You can tell that that's a real, you know?
And this right here, this shot, that's all that I needed as far as her background.
Just reflecting on what could be.
Yep.
CP, we are synced up. I mean, perfectly. I'm watching because JJ's camera constantly moves, and your video to my video is just spot on.
I got like a half second in front of you guys.
Oh really?
And there's that little guy that's behind her in line. That was the one that was in that J.J. Abrams when he did the contest.
Yeah. They made such a big deal about him too.
Mm-hmm.
Ends up being a nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Just a background guy.
I was like, man, that guy looks awesome, and then he just stands behind her.
Good master shot and kind of setting up this scene here with the various different elements here. Visual storytelling is something that people fail to remember. Oh, this bread thing is great too, but you have to tell it through images, not through words, and it's doing that perfectly here. You know that Rey's been out here for a long time. You know that she's probably struggling a little bit.
Did you see how they did that trick, that shot with the bread? It was just a classic, like it's like a balloon, and they just suck the water out, and at the same timing, they're just blowing up.
I figured it would be something like that. That's funny.
It was all about timing. Just good old illusion.
I believe this was one of her first shots here, right here, Daisy with the helmet and things. Good, I like it.
Wasn't there a rumor that was Luke Skywalker's helmet?
Someone was trying to say that. I'm not sure. They had this. They read the symbols on the side.
Yeah.
It's not Tatooine.
I like the way she runs right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Doesn't she really remind you of like Sigourney Weaver?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She really looks like a young Sigourney Weaver.
Good old Ridley.
At first, I wasn't sure because she kind of reminds me of Keira Knightley.
Yes, she looks so much like Keira Knightley, actually.
Yeah.
Who was in episode 1?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was wasn't that clone, but one of the guards.
Yeah, she.
The decoy, wasn't she?
The decoy.
She was the decoy. Yeah, Padme's decoy. She doesn't have a single line, I don't think.
Tell me if anybody else noticed this the way I did when I think it's about to come up. Oh, it did. All right. Okay. When she says that's just Tito, it reminded me so much of a line that Anakin says in episode 1. The way it's said, and I really should have prepared myself better. But there's a line that he says that's just so and so, and it sounds so much like.
But he delivers it so much horribly than she probably.
Right. It's just very similar, and I was like,
I think I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the line either, but yeah, it's just similar. That little beat right there too. Callback.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if George was doing this would be blue screen and we wouldn't have real sand here. The set is just glorious. Like there's nothing going on. Like it's just sand dunes, but it just it has.
Can't take your eyes off of it.
No, yeah, it's great.
And BB-8 is actually there. Like that is impressive.
Yeah, him getting pushed along or whatever in the green suit there. Yeah.
That's insane.
They had like 4 of them, don't they? 4?
Yeah,
or
that part was crazy. I always wondered, and then when they had him behind it, I was like, "This is nuts."
Yeah.
Star
TIE
Destroyer.
fighters
Looks so good.
can't go wrong with the TIE fighter scream.
You know, Oscar Isaac is my personal favorite addition so far because the character intrigues me the most, and I can't wait to see more.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
He was supposed to die too.
Yeah.
He
Oh, really?
complained.
You can kind of tell though because when that inevitable scene happens where that you think he's dead, he just kind of pops up later. You can totally tell that.
That little story was such a throwaway story he gave Finn. You're like, oh, they had to just make something up real quick, I guess.
Yeah. Kylo Ren, so much mystery, so good.
Oh, I know, so much.
Right off the hop. You don't know. We've had speculation. You know, I speculated, and I was pretty damn close. But at the same time, you're waiting. You know.
Yeah, there's still speculation.
Yeah.
I really like the mask too. You know, the mask
I love
doesn't
the
look
mask.
too. I don't know. What do you guys think about Kylo's mask?
Love it.
Oh, I love it too. I'll be. I don't think you'll be seeing. Can you get away with those at cosplays now, or at conventions?
Speaking, look, Hux is great. Domhnall Gleeson is a phenomenal actor, one of the best we have today, and he embodies that character so well.
Yeah. He transforms into every role.
Yeah,
he really does. Like every time he's in a movie, I forget that it's him, and then it clicks. I'm like, oh, it's Domhnall Gleeson.
Yep.
Until after the fact, I was like, that was Domhnall, and I had just watched Ex Machina and The Revenant. I was like, what?
He transforms himself. He's like our new Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
He adds just enough cheese to the role too. Like he's got that cheekiness to him. It's really, really cool.
Well, you know, his dad's one of the greats. So, and Brandon Gleeson. So you have a lineage there of good actors.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of like the new Tarkin.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. And you get that whole kind of Hitler thing from him too a little bit later.
Yeah.
Oh,
that speech is. You might as well put that in black and white.
Yeah.
Quickie, there's Simon Pegg's
yeah.
plot here. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I meant to say that too. He had to do anything he could to get in. I actually watched Shaun of the Dead yesterday.
Oh, Shaun of the Dead.
Just as good.
Classic.
Well, yeah, and he was talking about in the behind the scenes, like not wanting to put his face in there because Star Trek. So the costume was a good idea.
Well, that's good on his part because he easily could have got a part, but he knew that it would detract.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This part's good here. Every time I watch this part, it makes me want to play Battlefront.
Yeah.
And get a TIE fighter.
The comedy in this scene's so good too.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the audition and watching this part is cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two have good chemistry.
They really do.
Yeah.
All the new the entire threesome of new folk have really, really good chemistry.
Well, and again, Oscar Isaac is one of the premium actors that we have today, one of the best, most underrated. And the greatest part is that Star Wars snatched them because, you know, you have to go with unknowns or people that are a little bit under the radar because then you'll attract too much attention. That's why Simon Pegg can't have a major role because people know it's him. But so if you get Oscar's the perfect guy because he's one of the best and people don't know a lot about him yet, you know? Instead, Llewyn Davis was a phenomenal role, but nobody really saw that movie. And he's definitely somebody to look out forward to for the next couple of years here.
For sure, and he's already built up his indie credibility, so getting into this blockbuster phase, like he's got a 2-for-1 basically at this point.
Yeah.
He's kind of the Han Solo of this one, even though we have Han Solo.
Yep.
Just because he's older than the
Game of Thrones right there.
Cast members, so.
Stop that fighter. Heard the Wilhelm screams coming up.
Oh, yeah. Cinematography's good, you know. I wasn't
really good.
I wasn't sure, you know, like everything.
You know there's green screen too, but you just don't know where.
Yeah. Mendel.
That's what you got to do. You got to keep them guessing.
Space just looks so good in this movie. It looks so.
It really does. Will you guys buy the 3D version when it comes out?
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
If I had
I
a
do
3D
want to see this
TV,
movie in 3D again.
in theaters it was awesome. It was
Yeah.
just perfect amount of 3D.
Mm.
A couple scenes like when the Star Destroyer was like slowly coming toward you, it was like completely popping out of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Not like the terrible one like I always reference in The Hobbit where the bees.
Yeah. Like that scene right there would probably be a good 3D scene.
Mm-hmm.
The chase scene we get in a couple of minutes is 3D perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, the movie hasn't really slowed down at all yet. It's
No.
moving.
It also helps, like, if you're trying to make a movie that's going to be rewatchable.
Mm-hmm.
Fast is better, you know what I mean? If you want
Mhm.
somebody coming up to the theater 5-10 times, then, like a lot of people did, you want something fast so people have to come back again, you know?
Yeah.
See, even here, look. He looks like Hitler.
He does.
It's all in the mouth movement.
Yeah. And the
Yeah,
posture.
he with the lower lip too. The rah, 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 rah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like Donald Gleason, Oscar Isaac, and Adam Driver. I actually liked Adam Driver coming from Girls, and I just watched the new season last night. I'm like, man, it's just he keeps carrying it on. I like it, so I hope he.
Adam Driver is a phenomenal. He along with Oscar Isaac, they went to Juilliard. Like that's premium. That's like the top-notch school for acting, right? So like you have two phenomenal actors coming out of that.
Yeah, he's really good at Girls too.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he is. But you know how we were talking about, like, you know, the movie is just really fast moving. When this movie ends, you feel like you just got off a roller coaster and you want to get back on the roller coaster. I think that's why people wouldn't seen it so many times.
Yeah, I was tired. You know, not only was it like you so much adrenaline because like this is a big moment, but like after the end of the movie, I was like my eyes hurt a little bit because I was like, there's so much going on, and I'm like, God, I need to go to bed. You know?
Yeah.
I always want more Phasma. Every time there's Phasma, I was like, I wish there was just more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think this was like the hardest movie for me to review just because I had just seen it, and like you said, Tyrell, I was exhausted from it, and I was like, and I didn't want to give away anything, so I was like, what do I even say? This was great, you know.
Yeah. That scene I was looking forward to when Finn pops into screen. I love that type of shot. And it was good. And in that first trailer or whatever, with the music beat and that coming in, I was like, okay, I can get behind this.
The shot selection are just, I mean, like something like this, like we've never seen such a wide angle like that.
This is practical too, right here, you know?
Yeah. Like, yeah.
I wouldn't go as far. Like I can see some comparisons in the desert to something like Lawrence of Arabia in terms of scope. Like you're using wide. Mendel likes to use wide shots, and I'm not going to compare the two necessarily because they're very different. But that same sort of feel, they shoot the desert very well.
Yeah.
But you know, it's weird. We've been in the desert in this series, but it's never looked like this. So it's really really fresh for the series, I guess, for Star Wars.
Real use
grab a drink, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I guess this scene was like a callback to when Rey was telling BB-8 to stay out of the certain area because of the sinking sand. So I don't know if people picked up on that either.
Yep.
You would have thought that would have been something that they would have just followed back to him eventually. Just drop it off in one spot, then walk. It's like a crumb trail.
Wait, is this the one where he gets up on the hill and then looks down? Or am I jumping ahead a little bit? Let's see.
No, he's about to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another wide shot there.
One of the shots with him over the jacket looks like they filmed it like in a studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another good shot too right here.
Yeah, this is the one I think I was talking about. Yeah. Great shot.
Yeah.
I think we only saw that when like Obi-Wan and Luke were looking at Mos Eisley.
Yep. And then right back onto the ship there. That was the slowest moment that we've had so far, you know?
Yeah.
Saying something about the clone army.
This is good too because you know there's a little tension. Not everybody's completely sure of everything. Not everybody's on the same page necessarily, and you see doubt. Adam Driver talked about playing a character that, not most bad guys in real life don't think they're necessarily bad guys, and that's good. You see these characters, they struggle a little bit. They're not completely convinced of everything. That's good.
Mm-hmm. And another actual thing, this thing that's drinking the water is actually there.
Yeah.
Whatever the hippo.
We'll get a great shot of its ass in like a minute.
This is good comedy too. You know what I mean? But
yeah, it is.
If you know how thirsty you'd be, you're like, fuck it.
Yeah. Showing Ray being a badass,
And you hear Encore Port or whatever is his name in that little sentence that guy said, so that's the two guys he sent. Oh, there's that ass shot.
Oh, great ass.
Oh yeah. It draws me away every time like they show him looking at her now.
It's also interesting because right off the bat they're trying to show that Finn tries to be this male hero, right? And he fails at it, and that's interesting. You know what I mean? That's different. It doesn't draw too much attention to itself, because one of the problems that you find is if you're trying to do these empowering female leads, you draw too much attention to it, and then it kind of ruins itself. But this is good. This is a very good kind of relationship between these two characters. You're playing with stereotypes as well.
Plus, if you didn't notice it visually, her saying, you don't have to take my hand is a little nice and subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, for Finn, it's kind of hard to pinpoint a parallel for him in the original trilogy. Because Rey, you got Luke. She's pretty much the Luke of the story. But Finn, to me, he feels like a new character to the franchise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is refreshing because he could, you don't know where his character's going to go.
And exactly right at the end of the movie, he's the one that has this kind of unquestionable nature about what's going to happen next for him.
Yeah.
Mm.
I kind of think maybe he'll try to find his family eventually. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
He'll go find Mace Windu, his dad. That theory that's going around. Especially,
I never heard that one. That's great.
No, well, Samuel Jackson keeps on saying, he's like, I wouldn't die if I, fell out there. You know what I mean? And I saw some tinfoil theory about him being his son, but that would be so funny. But no, definitely not. But it would be interesting.
He does have some purple on his jacket.
He's just a big fan of Purple Rain.
Yeah. Great song, by the way. Why didn't they use Purple Rain in this movie?
They should have used it in Batman.
Boy, that would have thrown everybody off guard. Well, are they playing Purple Rain in Star Wars?
See, when she says she thought Luke was a myth, that's when I think they're trying to throw you off the scent that like she knew him prior or something, or if that's a possibility, if that's what's happening.
Do you guys think she's related to Luke?
Oh, has to be.
Yeah.
I do. I don't think she is.
Really?
I have nothing to back that up.
I think it's somebody important, but not Luke.
But I think that's too easy. I think that backs it up for me. I think it's just too easy for her to be related to Luke.
Yeah. I get that, because it's like it draws the fine line between like, do you go for something that's conventional, or do you go for something that was totally left field? But if you go too far out, it might be just alienating.
Yeah.
But you can't have that big reveal again in the same way, because you even had that big reveal later on when we have that whole Kylo Ren Han Solo thing. It's similar to the whole Luke Vader thing, right? So it's like you can only have so many of those quote unquote twist moments before people start not being that, pleased with it anymore.
The thing that kind of not gives it away, but she does look like Leia and she does look like Padme, so did they do that on purpose?
Yeah. You know what got me about the whole Kylo Ren Han Solo thing is one of the last set of images released. They were shot. Their pictures were shot the same way, and it made it look like they were related. So
Really?
I wonder if I'll try to find those pictures later and I'll post on Twitter. But I wonder if they'll do that with some of the promotional stuff coming up, because I'm assuming Luke will be in some of the promotional stuff for the next movie.
Yeah. I can't wait to see Luke.
This is the part where I got goosebumps. I was in the theater right here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
They completely just act like it doesn't exist, and then, oh, there's the Millennium Falcon.
As soon as she said garbage, I'm like, it's the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, but you see slight glimpses of it in the background before.
Yeah, that one cutscene. As soon as it pans real fast, you can see it.
Mm-hmm. This is my favorite scene in the whole movie, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
It is great.
Because people were like, oh god, when it starts flying, the camera flips and stuff. That's something you would never see in Star Wars before. But it adds so much to it. It looks so good, you know? And it's the Millennium Falcon. Like, you can't not like that.
It actually feels like a hunk of junk.
Yeah.
You know? But because of the way the camera moves and all that. Like, she's
not actually flying it, but her reactions. Yeah, her reactions to everything will make it so real too as well.
That it's being dragged on the ground. For the people that say that she knows how to fly, like she's scraping the ground. She's it's not there. Just bump the ground again. Like, I wouldn't call that perfect flying.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's a question: is the Force working through her to make it fly?
Perhaps.
Yeah, perhaps.
Perhaps.
It's the whole loop thing. And
that's what works about this movie. They don't spell out anything for you.
You know, that shot where it flips around and goes upside down, that's new. But you go back to those World War II fighter jet or fighter plane things that George Lucas would do, where you have them in the cockpit with the gun, you know. So it's that good dichotomy between old and new.
Yeah.
Just it's strange. It feels like there's different things happening, but it's one scene.
Mm-hmm.
I love how the interface looks kind of matches with the you know what I'm talking about, the interface on the ship.
The grid, yeah.
The grid, it looks old school.
Well, I like how you can see the reflection of the TIE fighters on the helmets too of the stormtroopers, so you can they're not just looking at just the camera, like they're inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one little touch I like.
Yeah, with a little bit of comedy too with BB-8 stretching the ropes out. You know what I mean? You're playing very well with action and comedy and sci-fi and fantasy. All of this is working together quite well.
And the score, I love it reminds me of Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it does.
Lots of brass.
It's so cool to see the Star Destroyer just completely obliterated too, just decaying in the sand for 30 years.
Yeah, just everything that's going on here is like
it's
overload of the senses.
Scavenger's a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love the front shots of the Millennium Falcon that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I couldn't even breathe the first time I watched this. I was just like, take a breath.
I screamed with Finn when it was over. I was like, woo!
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh, it's good to be a geek.
One of the better sequences, perhaps in the entire series. I mean, it's really, really intense.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it whips around like a car almost, you know what I mean? Like, it just came up, hit the camera, basically, and went back down.
It kind of reminded me of the DeLorean from Back to the Future, how it turns.
Yeah.
This really feels like a good movie for children, too, like 10-year-olds.
Oh, yeah.
How you know that they would just love this.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It's got that
I love this part, too.
Oh, so good.
You gotta get creative.
Very nice.
Like, this is my son's favorite movie right now. Every day, at least once a day, he mentions Star Wars, Force Awakens.
Yeah,
and he loves it so much.
My wife, I'm putting my wife. She's almost close to calling it quits as much as I ever talk about it. I watch. It's like, I knew you liked it, but good God.
And this is about the first time we really get the first real exhale.
We can breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting too because I guess Daisy wanted more time with BB-8 and that relationship, and that's interesting because the relationship between a robot or a droid and a legitimate human is you have to be a very good filmmaker to do that, obviously, and they pull it off. BB-8 feels like something that's real, you know, and the relationship with Rey and all the other characters is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just everybody's really into each other, you know. The chemistry between all the actors is just, it's great.
This part right here is the best.
Nothing feels forced.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the front of the.
That was one of my problems with the prequel. Is the actors, they felt wooden, like they, and I partly blame the actors, but I partly don't, because I think they had nothing to play with, you know.
And the script was bad. You know, if anything, the best dialogue has been in this movie. The best actual naturalistic or more legitimate dialogue. There are a few moments, but it feels a lot more real than George's kind of more. Especially by the time you hit the prequels, the dialogu's very choppy.
Oh, there's that sword.
The freakouts are the best.
How's that breathing going, CP?
What?
Said, how's that breathing going after that sword popped out?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
You just needed one exhale. That's it. Yeah. Now we're right back into it.
Yeah.
Well, look at that guy.
Man, that sword is such a great addition.
That fear in his eyes and stuff like that. It's great.
He knows he's in for some shit.
Back to Rey. There's always problems too. That's how you make a story push along, solving problems.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah, that's another parallel with episode 4. I mean, episode 4 just they were constantly having something, a problem to deal with.
Great
the whole
sequence
movie.
here too. A little joke with the thumbs up thing is brilliant.
Oh yeah, they got the biggest laugh from when I first watched it at everybody in the theater.
the head tilting back.
Yeah, when he points.
Yeah. That was great. There's the GIF.
I think in every Star Wars movie, they had to all say one name incorrectly or all say it differently. Jakku said like 3 different ways.
Yeah. Well, if you go back and watch 4, they say Princess Leia a bunch of different ways, a bunch of different times.
Leah, I think the one guy says it.
Yeah. Tarkin's, Peter Cushing.
Han, what's it? Han and I was like, what are you saying?
That moment where he puts his hand on her head and stuff, that's good. You know, you wouldn't necessarily think to do that, but it just works well, and it also kind of, it reminds me of kind of a whole brother sister type thing.
It does.
People want the romance out of these two characters, but if they're more like brother sister, that does more for me personally, I think.
Yeah, me too.
The oxygen mask they use in Empire.
Yeah.
This movie is even good with the sound off.
Yeah. No, and that's a testament to a good movie. That's what George wanted to do originally with 4. You'd be able to watch this movie silent in every country in the world, and people will know what's going on.
Yeah. And you know exactly what's going on as you're watching it with no sound.
And that's what filmmaking should be. Like, a lot of people argued when sound got introduced into film, it decays the medium because you're supposed to be telling a story through pictures, like moving pictures, right?
Yeah.
And, this...
Right.
The sound sounds great. This is one of the best soundscapes I've ever seen in a movie. It has potency, but silent, it does a lot of good stuff. And same with Mad Max, talking about movies out of 2015.
Oh, yeah. The sound. Just
We missed that line there, like the Chewie they're home or whatever. That they dedicate a whole day to that. I think that's important. You know, it's an important moment for everybody. Got a lot of claps in my theater. Han got the most claps, I think, of that introduction of all the characters. He's definitely the most popular, you know.
Yeah, right when he walked in, I remember my theater, man. It just erupted.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell from the beginning, like he's bringing this isn't Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull Harrison Ford. This is
No.
the Harrison Ford we all been looking for.
Mm-hmm. He brings it. He's gruff. He's old. You can tell. There's the physicality there of an old man, but he's doing it. He's grinding along. It's good.
I'll admit it took me a minute to adjust to an older Han Solo.
Oh yeah.
And when I watched it a second time, I was hooked in from the first time in. I saw what they were doing with his character this time around. Whereas the first time I wanted, the younger Han.
Yeah, because you think
this is a different Han Solo.
Han's invisible. That's what, or not invisible, invincible. Everybody knows him as this young hero, that doesn't, hang around for anyone. But that's not necessarily, again, how you couldn't do that. You couldn't have 73-year-old Harrison Ford going out there and doing that same type of stuff.
Yeah,
and you're right. You know what I mean? Like there's a delicate.
He's at a different point in his life.
Yeah. It's a delicate balance.
They do have a deleted scene that is vintage Han Solo that I really wish they found a way to put back in, where he's going back and forth with stormtroopers and he's talking about Snoke and he's smoke. What makes him so supreme? It's a really, really good scene. It's just like, you can't find room for that somewhere.
I can see where it's out of place, but I thought it was hilarious too.
It's vintage Han Solo.
Yeah, that is a character I will miss.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There's another thing. A lot of color in this movie. You know what I mean? We have greens, we have blues, we have reds. Purple. They're playing a lot. They're playing a lot with color, which is good. The saturation, it amps it up a lot.
This looks like the dirtiest out of all the movies too, to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you look at the background, it looks. You know how they always wanted Star Wars to look used, like a used space, and this one, I think it does it even more.
Mm-hmm. Now, what do you guys feel about the Raptors or whatever?
Yeah, I was gonna say, a lot of people didn't like this scene. I thought it was all right. I mean, the Raptors are a little CGI-ish. I guess the most, it could have been better, but
yeah.
Listen, you have Ewoks in the first trilogy, Jar Jar in the prequel trilogy. If this is that for this trilogy, I'm all right with that.
I'll take it.
It felt a little bit too horror sci-fi for me. Like, because Star Wars isn't really a sci-fi. It's got sci-fi elements, but it's a space opera. It's a fantasy.
It's fantasy.
It felt a little bit too sci-fi, but I can buy it enough. You know what I mean?
Certainly stomach it. It's not that long. I mean,
and the biggest waste of the raid cast.
There's a lot of talk about bringing the guys back because some of them live there. So
that's true. You didn't see all of them. You just see like the side, the side guys. But still.
And I think the problem with putting the raid guys in is I think they were trying to shoehorn them in to get that Asian demographic, and I don't know if it's needed, especially with Rogue One, because I think you're going to get the Asian demographic with that a lot more. I think that's going to be very popular there, especially compared to historically Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah, well, I think it's because you have more cast members that are Asian, and you have I don't know. I think it'll just be more successful there.
Okay.
Now, Rogue One takes place, is it after Episode 4?
Before. Right before.
Right before getting the plans to the Death Star.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have that Donnie Yen guy, right? And he's big in Hong Kong martial.
Yeah. He is.
And I think that'll be a huge turnout for a lot of the Asian demographic. This is good here too. Another problem. You're dealing with another problem. Multiple problems.
Yeah. They don't have a minute to just, chill. They always got to deal with something.
And it's like another callback to Indiana Jones, even with the ball, the way he kind of runs away.
Like, yeah, that's right.
I did notice that. Yeah.
You notice, guys, we're like almost an hour in, and it feels like we've only been watching it for 20
Yeah, I
minutes.
feel like maybe 20, 30 minutes or almost.
Yeah, it's crazy.
An hour.
Old man, Han Solo. There you go.
Old man strength.
Oh man, straight.
Burps out the boot. I thought it was a fun scene. I didn't like love it, but I thought, for the movie, it fit the tone, I guess, too.
Is it better than the Rancor?
No.
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 I agree.
Here's what I'll say. I know when to pee if I ever watch it again in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, pee break. And it's still a decent scene. It's still, there's still some fun to be had.
Yeah.
I just like Ray's reactions. Like, it's just, I don't know, like you said, brother, sister. Like, she's more worried as a sister than like, oh, I'm in love. My lover is getting taken away.
Exactly. And again, this scene in somebody else's movie would probably be the best scene in the damn movie. You know what I mean? You're just treated so much with Star Wars that it's this one maybe doesn't necessarily stack up because of the creature or whatever.
Yeah.
It's another clever scene too, with her using the door.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's just kind of setting her up as someone who can, think on their feet pretty well. I don't know if that's the Force coming in, if that's just naturally.
Well, we know that she knows her way around these big ships and stuff because we see her in the beginning as a scavenger. She's, she knows how to take the fuses and stuff out. She knows her way around.
Is this an old Empire ship, or like the 30s one? Or is just like a big freighter ship that Han?
I think it's just a freighter type thing, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But still, like you said, Stevie, she's probably familiar with all these big ships and being in them all day, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they showed us that, so it's it's not too much of a stretch.
I can't believe Han has never shot Chewie's gun before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what gives?
How's that never happened? That was more unbelievable than shooting the guy off.
And Han's shot just about everything.
Yeah. This is good too because you see him back in his element here. He's getting ready to fly this damn thing. But then Ray comes along. You know what I mean? This pass off.
One thing I love about Han's character so much throughout the whole saga is he's always having to improvise. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's always something that's stacked against him when he's having to deal with any kind of ordeal. But somehow he manages to find his way out of it.
I love Ray telling him about the converter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's just a fun character.
The light speed out of there is awesome. It's like I never asked that question until after I've done it.
Yeah, that's Han Solo right there.
All the way through.
Yeah, he never thinks it through. He just does it. Full steam ahead.
That was a good shot there, using the framing of the door. It was good filmmaking. Good filmmaking.
I wish they would have had a Greedo ancestor, and he would have just shot him in passing.
Just floating in space, shooting.
Just for no reason whatsoever.
I want to say that when I first saw this in the theater, I actually almost was like, okay, the movie's been so good to this point. It's about to hit the fan. I'm gonna hate it.
Oh yeah, I was upset. I was like, he's not that big, is he?
I was like, what? What the fuck? I'm like, please, no.
Yeah, this felt out of place. When I first saw it, I didn't know that it was a hologram. I thought he was really that size.
I thought he was that size until you see the bits falling down later, and it kind of goes through him. But I was like,
I think I missed that or something. But he was the one character that worried me the most.
And I don't particularly even like the mocap work on this, to be honest. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it stands out a little bit too much. I don't know how I feel about Snoke.
Me neither.
The scene.
Andy Serkis said beforehand that the reason they did the mocap is because what they wanted to do with the face they couldn't do with makeup. But after seeing it, I've seen better makeup. I've seen Sloth in the Goonies has better makeup than they could do with Snoke on this. But the mocap, I didn't see the necessity for it.
No.
Yeah, I mean, is he as good as Sidious? I don't think so. You know what I mean? Even visually, Sidious just looks interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
Snoke just looks like a CGI character.
Episode 4, we didn't have a Sidious yet, though.
No,
so
it's true. It's true.
We're not really comparing anything just yet.
No. It just seems odd because if Sidious is the height of whatever it was, how can you necessarily top that? The only thing is, visually, I guess you could top it in actual size. Like you have a bigger weapon, you have a bigger
Big Sidious.
Yeah. I don't know.
I've read somewhere that they have a Wizard of Oz thing going on where he's probably the size of Yoda.
Yeah, it's 3 feet tall. Yeah, no, I believe that too.
How did you guys feel about the whole Chewbacca costume? Because it is quite different. He looks quite young.
Mm-hmm. And they use 2 different actors. Obviously, now they have the younger guy.
Yeah.
I liked it at the end when watching the documentary. Now you know that they try to use the same stitching as the first one, but the hair, they didn't say anything about updating, like with the aging or anything. But Chewbacca's supposed to be like 200 years or 400-year-old Wookiees or something like that. So he's not quite old yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked it. I mean, it did look. I think they should have roughed him up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I still think it looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, Chewbacca didn't. He felt like more of kind of an afterthought in this movie than he did in the original trilogy. Like, I don't know, there was just so much more life to him in the original trilogy.
It's kind of like what Red Letter Media says. Like, he's kind of like that Chewbacca that shows up in like promotional videos, or it's like a really clean version of the suit.
Yeah, he looks too clean too.
Yeah, especially the movie looks gritty. It does. Like you were saying, it's like the dirtiest one that we've had in terms of aesthetic, and he kind of looks a little bit too clean.
Yeah, he does. And he's older, so he should look dirtier. You know what I mean? Like,
kind of has gray hair, but just roughed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe he has just for men, or just for
for Chewie, just for Wookiees. Well, they even gave C3. I was thinking CP3.
CP3.
3PO. They gave him a red arm to distinguish the time, so that they thought that much for C3PO. But why wouldn't they think that for Chewie?
Yeah, make Chewie lose an eye or something.
Yeah, have something.
Yeah, one-eye Chewie.
Time has passed.
Give him an eye patch.
Give him glasses. Show the time has passed.
Doesn't this scene remind you of Episode 2 with Obi-Wan Kenobi?
It does, the whole trying to find Kamino, yeah.
Yeah. It's cool that Ewan McGregor, they used his voice in this too.
Yeah.
And Alec Guinness.
Yeah, then they cut a word, like afraid, he was saying.
Yeah, afraid, and
array
out of it.
I thought that was clever. I mean, obviously they couldn't use him, but yeah, that's a good idea. And bringing Ewan McGregor back in.
Just do it already. Announce a Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan.
Please. That's one thing I would actually like to see is what happened between all those years.
He says he's up for it if they want to do it.
Exactly. I think it's a way better idea than the Han Solo movie, personally, and I think that you have the actor who embodied.
was the best prequel trilogy.
Oh yeah, and he's the only one that could actually do something with the lines. Like you could
he
feel
felt
that.
Like he belonged in the original trilogy. He really did.
Yeah.
I like how they come out of Lightspeed too. How they redid that. That's cool.
Qui-Gon Jinn was actually a really good character too.
Yep.
Great.
Anybody worthwhile died in the first one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. What the hell?
It's true.
Maybe they'll bring Darth Maul back with his spider legs. And
why kill Qui-Gon? Qui-Gon could have been great in all 3 movies. It really
you had some other good, like Christopher Lee's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved Dooku was the best part of the second one.
Yeah.
Darth Maul could have carried the trilogy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was cool how Dooku was kind of being played too, and he didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
By Sidious, everybody's a puppet on Sidious's strings, Yeah.
It also showed how smart Sidious was because Dooku is considered quite smart. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
In that deleted scene, kind of going back to this, CP you were talking about with Han talking about Snoke. I wish they would have shown that too because it kind of shows how Han knows. The truth about Finn.
The boots. The boots, yes.
I wish because it kind of is implied, but I wish it kind of is one of the things they probably would have shown or said. But yeah, that's a scene I wish I'd have kept in after seeing it. I was like, oh, that's how he knew the boots. Mm-hmm. It's not just the Han instinct, I guess.
So did they use a Bic razor in this movie?
Wait, what?
Remember in episode 1 they used a Bic razor for the voice recorder or whatever it was that he was talking into.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, they did. It was just a Bic razor. The one that Qui-Gon Jinn was using.
Yeah. There's a video about that on YouTube. It's quite funny.
Han's hair gets even crazier each scene as the scenes go on in this.
Yeah.
It's like just gets
That guy
crazier and
home.
crazier. Yeah. It's like I know they want to look gruffy, but they don't want to look psycho homeless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this scene. Like, if you want to join the crew type thing, I don't know.
Yeah. It was a little too early, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He should be asking you, like, turning around as Kylo's about to stab him, hey, you want to join my crew? That's the perfect time for it.
This is great. I love this.
Mhm.
They showed
Yeah.
a glimpse of it in a trailer or whatever, and then I was like, whoa.
And then seeing how they somehow where the blue screen is on it, it's like it's a great how they panned it in and hit everything else on the side.
That's a tilt.
This is my
Carlos.
least favorite character coming up.
Cantina scene. Here we go.
Carlos, pan is left, right, tilt is up, down.
Tilt. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What do you guys think of this character? I did not like her.
Okay.
Yeah, she kind of annoyed me.
We're gonna get more apparently based off of the Ryan Johnson picture that he posted. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It would make sense because we kind of left Maz. We didn't really know what was going on, so
Yeah.
there wasn't really any closure there.
It was a really big parallel to Yoda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the music's nice and mellow though now.
See, people complained about this being so much the Cantina, but then JJ said he's like, you have to have something that's like it, and I kind of agree. I didn't mind this. I thought it was okay.
People are ridiculous. They really are.
Yeah.
There's so much to enjoy in this movie, and to just say stupid shit like that. Like
These characters reminded me of people from like The Fifth Element.
yeah, like,
yes.
And
This
they're there.
definitely has Fifth Element vibes. I'm expecting Chris Tucker to show up in a minute.
Ruby Rod.
Yeah, Ruby Ride.
I like this little
Corbin
guy
Dallas?
too.
4 crates.
She looks like something out of Fifth Element.
Mm-hmm. As soon as that's the first time I saw the movie, I was like, yeah, that's like a Fifth Element character.
Yeah.
Even the language sounds
Here's
something.
the
So it wasn't this scene I do like, but it's like it only makes him seem even crazier. He's just talking to the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really hope we find out why it is that, or how he got to idolizing Darth Vader.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic.
Like, did Snoke introduce him? Did he because Leia said he was seduced by Snoke, so like, was he already into Vader before that? Did Snoke get him into the dark side? Then he learned about Vader. Like, how'd that
You
go?
would think that he'd get some sort of sitting down from his parents, like, listen.
Or Luke or something,
Yeah. Listen, we have the whole story, so.
Yeah, maybe Luke accidentally mentions his name. He's like, who? And then he does his own research and finds out. And that's where it all goes down.
Or they could go the other way, and he kind of gets mad because they won't tell him what's going on, kind of thing. Because it's like, it is kind of alluded to the fact that Han and Leia are just terrible parents too. You know what I mean?
And they even admit it. They're like, we just went back to what we knew best. We sent our son off and hope for the best.
But again, Kylo Ren is kind of rebelling against that, but in a way better way than Anakin did. Because Anakin was a little bit too much of a whiny little, whatever.
Yeah.
Kylo has more motivation. It's a more subtle, even more crazy kind of look at it. It plays with it better, I think.
Right.
How would you guys feel about a spirit Anakin played by Hayden Christensen showing up in the next movie?
Don't like it.
There's no way that's going to happen, by the way. But.
I just don't think Hayden Christensen is anyone believable, and it would just draw out of the movie, I think, at this point.
It'd be the biggest unintentional laugh of that movie.
His acting was just... And I don't know if it was fully George Lucas's fault or the script's fault, or I don't know what it was, but to play one of the arguably greatest characters in cinema history, and to give a performance like that...
There's been a lot of rumors and things come out saying that like certain things that Hayden Christensen did were actually really good, but George would like be like, no, I want you to do this.
Yeah.
That there was a lot more control over it. The
Faster,
lines
more
were
intense.
bad, you know.
I can believe that too because really, I can't really fault Hayden that much because every actor in the prequel trilogy is kind of wooden. Even Natalie Portman, and Natalie Portman's a great actress.
Yeah.
They even changed her voice.
Yeah. Oh, I just get pissed off when I think about the prequel trilogy.
Because before Star Wars, he did Life as a House, Hayden Christensen.
Yeah,
and
great.
He earned a Golden Globe and was nominated for a SAG Award. So he had prospects. And after that, you know, and I've read an interview with him recently. It destroyed him. Star Wars really destroyed him. You know,
It did.
He's a Canadian guy, and he's got some farm, I guess, not that far from where I live. And he just stayed there for a long time because there was a lot of pressure. He failed in a lot of ways, and it wasn't necessarily his fault all the way through. It's just and then he's a joke. You know, you never want to be a joke. You know, 7 billion people are thinking that you're a joke. You know what I mean? You can't Yeah, and
I saw. Did you see Shattered Glass?
I've not.
He was great in that, and it's a true story about a guy who like pretty much made up all his. He was a journalist, and he just made up all his stories. He kept making up fake story after fake story after. A really interesting movie actually, and he did a great job in it. I thought. Yeah, definitely check it out. But yeah, it's sad, man, because same thing happened with Jake Lloyd.
Yep.
You know, I mean, he can't even go to conventions without people.
He got a DUI. He got arrested just recently too.
Multiple I think he's had a couple infractions.
Child actor syndrome with him, though.
Yeah, he said when he went to school after he did Episode 1, it was hard for him to just even go to grade school every day because people would just constantly chastise him.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough.
Now, so this scene, I listened to the audiobook. I guess in this scene too, they took, I don't know if it was originally in the script or they deleted the scene, but like Encore Poe or whatever shows up and gets his arm cut off in this cantina, and it's like a whole separate fight on its own with everybody, and they completely cut it out. It's in the book, in the audiobook, and I guess in the written, old-fashioned written book, but yeah, it's interesting to see how much they've cut out.
Encore Plut? Is that
Encore Plut, that's it. I couldn't remember that.
Shaun of the Dead.
Finn trying to get out. And then we have our dream sequence. What do you guys think of the dream sequence?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
It was good.
Was anyone else distracted before the dream sequence about BB-8 going down each step behind her? She's trying to have like this pivotal moment. All you can hear is this aluminum bashing.
It's funny when he drops, it sounds like a dodgeball.
Yeah.
Whenever it bounces, it sounds like a dodgeball bouncing.
Well, we're on a different. We're not on Earth, so maybe everything sounds different. I don't know.
Good sound design again. It feels tangible. It sounds tangible. Like it feels like something's actually hitting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I first saw this. At this point, I was just like, "Okay, we're not going to see Luke in this movie."
I thought this might be a trap. There was a lot of tension here for me.
Me too.
It's a trap.
I thought this could go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it did.
It did. It went somewhere.
What the only thing that like really bothered me about this scene was some of the stuff that we saw in the trailer was in there. I was just like, wait a minute, that's how we see Luke Han? Wait a minute, what? That's how we see the Knights of Ren? What? Dream sequence stuff.
And the shot of the Knights of Ren was slightly different from the trailer one.
It was closer in the trailer,
yeah.
I guess, do you notice that Kylo Ren is killing the guy who's about to kill her, I guess? So he's maybe protecting her?
Yeah.
Oh,
if you watch it closely, the guy's about to bash her, but Kylo Ren is stabbing him from behind. It's like he tried to stop one of his knights
Yeah, interesting.
Hmm.
It is an interesting dream sequence, and usually I don't like dream sequences in movies
Yeah, me neither.
because a lot of times they're just kind of useless, and usually they're going to show you something that you're not going to see again. You know what I mean?
Now, whose hand is that's holding Ray? That's
Isn't that
That's Uncle Pop.
Yeah.
yeah.
You hear him say, "Come on."
I would think so. Yeah.
Who is it?
The Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, okay.
What?
It's Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg. Yeah.
It's literally Sean. Sean.
It's 4 in the fucking morning.
Oh, cock it.
And so I guess Ma says she knows the Force, but they had a scene cut out where apparently she uses the Force to bring like walls down to protect her and everybody from like stormtroopers coming in. So I don't know. Maybe there's gonna be more to Maz in episode 8 or 9.
Yeah.
She'll reveal more of her powers or something when she needs to, not necessarily because she can.
Yeah, you got to use Lupita, man. Lupita's great. There's room for some growth with his character.
I like Lupita, but man, she is literally only being used for CGI characters, which is sad.
Yeah.
Which is a whole different topic on its own, but that's right now she's only getting these mocap characters and voiceovers.
She looks like an orange.
People say tangerine, I guess, like a tangerine,
like a prune
with
tangerine
with two buttholes.
Who did they say that she was?
Oh God, I'll never look at her the same again. Two buttholes.
We said in the behind the scenes that she's based off of somebody, her appearance kind of.
It's like J.J. Abrams' teacher or something like that.
Okay.
She was based off somebody's butthole.
Yes. It's like Tommy Pickles got put in a microwave.
Oh man.
Yeah, I thought she was more just kind of the parallel. Like you said, we had parallel characters. She was the Yoda, but it was a little spot on. Maybe she didn't have to be so short. Maybe she could have been like taller or fat or something. I don't know. But being that small, it's just like
she was really just a discount Yoda.
Exactly, discount Yoda.
Discount Yoda.
Okay, here we go. Here, see this whole
Reich.
This is
right.
This is right from a Leni Riefenstahl propaganda film from it's like down to what they do with the voice to make it amplify to this shot here of seeing all the soldiers lined up. It's red, it's a direct homage to a Riefenstahl film. It's perfect.
Yeah. It feels like it could be a Bond film now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? Tomorrow Never Dies, or is that the one?
He is a Bond villain that is in the wrong place.
Well, his cadence is so it's tweaked just enough where it's just a little hammy, and it's so like prototypical villain.
It could be an Indiana Jones villain too, actually.
First Order.
Now that's not called the Death Star though, right? Isn't it called something else?
Star Killer Base.
Yeah, Star Killer Base. That's Star Killer. That's right. I should have known that.
And Star Killer was supposed to be Luke's original name, and
Luke Star Killer.
Odd reflection in his eyes there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super proud of what he's about to do.
This shot is cool with it going past Kylo.
That's a great shot.
I don't know if I agree with the use of the super weapon in the way it's being used and destroying planets that we know nothing about. Like we don't know anything about Alderaan, but we know it means something to Leia.
Yeah.
We don't
Leia
know.
gives it weight.
Yeah, we don't know that this is nothing. People were
apparently the people that we actually see, there was a scene with that female. We're gonna get her in a second. The young lady with her hair tied back. Apparently, she had a scene that was cut. So I don't know.
And in the visual dictionary or whatever, it says like these are all alliance planets, blah blah blah, and it goes around. The government moves, but people didn't think. People thought a bunch of different things than it actually what, you know what I mean? So it was a little bit.
I was confused. I was like, oh wait, the Republic, wait, that's their planets, and like you said, there's a scene that we probably could have used to give a little more backstory on it.
Yeah, I didn't feel a great loss, when those planets were destroyed.
No,
So
there's no weight to it.
It was just more showing what the Starkiller base could do, as opposed to what just happened to the Resistance and their alliance and things like that.
Yeah, and we don't even if we look back at Alderaan after, you cut to Obi-Wan, you cut to Alec Guinness, and he's like, he says that whole line about through the Force you could hear 1,000 screams, whatever the heck.
Yeah, even they should have shown somebody like doing the whole Jedi reaction, like, oh,
yeah,
I felt it. I just felt that.
More great.
A lot of people just died.
Just beautiful shots, man.
Mm-hmm. The question not answered about where she got the lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For another time.
Oh yeah.
That is a cool looking lightsaber.
Yeah. And I knew as soon as they gave that to Finn in the promotional stuff, and that Finn was using a lightsaber, I knew that Rey was actually going to be a Jedi as well, because they were trying to take away from that by getting everybody hyped in the fact that Finn has a lightsaber. But I knew you can't.
They always do misdirection in trailers anyway.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's like Luke. Luke uses a blaster for a lot of the first movie,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does. He never even fights with a lightsaber in the first movie.
No.
He just trains. That's about it.
I love the movement we get from BB-8.
Trains and complains.
When he talks, he jitters his head when he talks. It's really.
Uh-oh, Traitor. Is he coming up?
It's coming up.
Yes.
I like how we've gotten all three environments. We had the sand, winter, now we have the green.
And
now, didn't the internet give Traitor his name?
He has an official name. I don't know what it is.
That should have been Phasma, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. It needed to be a continuation of their storyline.
Yeah.
When I saw it, and when I finished the movie, and I thought about the things I didn't like, I was like, Phasma should have been the traitor dude, It would have made more sense. And then I went online, and a lot of people thought the same thing, and I'm like, well, then that must, it would have made sense.
Yeah, like I expected Phasma to, I guess, kick more ass.
Yeah. Oh, here we go with the bowcaster again.
Yeah.
You would have think at some point before in other battles they would have used it, but guess
and
not.
Look, stormtroopers are actually hitting people now. That's good too.
Their guns kind of look like toys. Their guns kind of look like toys to me, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Traitor. He does look cool though.
Yeah.
Oh, he kicks his ass.
Yeah. Check him out.
He basically wins the battle.
Well, really, if you think about it, Finn
is there an official action figure for him?
I
think so.
Yeah.
He must get all the girls.
Probably pretty pricey too.
For sure.
Finn was like a loser, really, even as a stormtrooper. He's the lowest.
Did he say it was his first battle? It was his first battle they were on, so.
Yeah, he was a custodianer basically, or whatever, right?
It kind of made Finn look bad too. He's getting his ass handed to him by a traitor.
I like how Han keeps up the joke calling him Big Deal.
Mm-hmm.
You okay?
Yeah, big deal.
But you never get to see his boots really. I guess maybe here, but I guess they look more like European boots than stormtrooper boots.
European. Sorry.
I love this scene in the trailer when they use this.
Mm-hmm.
And this is badass,
Oh yeah.
Well, when I saw it, oh my God, my favorite guy's back, Poe Dameron, and then he just wipes everybody out. I'm
sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, Tyrell.
No, that's okay. That's all I had to say.
They have a scene, it's coming up, a shot, should I say, where they follow
Mm-hmm.
him in taking out bit by bit from people on the ground to, it's a really neat shot, and I guess I'll wait till it comes up to bring it up again. But really, again, going back to the way they're telling the story, it's just really, really different, fun.
Well, it's cool that Finn says he's a hell of a pilot, but he has no idea that it's Poe. He doesn't know that he's alive yet.
Yeah.
That's something I didn't think about either. I was like, every time I kept thinking he knew he was alive, here's the scene.
Yep. We're gonna follow it. Take another one out.
Oh,
Here's another scene makes me want to play Battlefront.
that's a great oneer there, and it doesn't stop. It keeps on going.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cut. There you go. That's a great.
Yeah, it is a great shot.
And
when I first saw the trailer, I didn't realize that was Oscar Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, well, he looks really familiar.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I found out it was Oscar Isaac, I was like, oh yeah, great.
This is a good scene too. Psychologically, we're seeing the inside of, Rey is quite paranoid here. Doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
If you had to pick a weak area of the movie, would you say the last 20, 30 minutes were probably the weak spot?
I like the
obviously
fight
before here. This is great.
I don't know.
From here on, it's just perfect.
The whole taking out the Starkiller base, trench run, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of rushed through. Just quick here.
I agree.
Quick callback, but yeah, but it mixed in with the lightsaber fight in the woods. It was hard to take away from that.
Again,
this is great though.
Yeah. The Wrath Tower was probably one of the weaker areas.
Yeah. But Rey is just such an interesting character.
Oh, yeah.
You're so curious about her future and what she's going to become.
Mm-hmm. And you saw that little bit in the trailer, too, that we just came up to the lightsaber to the throat thing there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the next movie picks up right where this one left off.
Yeah,
right?
I believe so.
I don't think they've done that before, have they?
Nope.
There's always been a few years in between.
There's always been, so that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll pick up where it left off, and then there'll be a little bit of training, and then they'll skip forward a few years. Who knows?
I was thinking that too, because I think you have three main story arcs. You have the whole Rey Luke thing, you have the whole Kylo Ren Snoke thing, and then you have the John Boyega Isaac thing going down the middle, right? So you could be seeing stuff like that, yeah.
Do you think Luke's gonna be like Pai Mei from Kill Bill?
Now, when I saw this, you think if Kylo Ren can sense Han Solo out in the snow, miles away, how come he didn't sense him right there?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those. It's like you think he would have sensed him right there?
Yeah, it's I don't know though, because at the same time, Kylo Ren is also. He's not sure if this is right yet, too. He could be making excuses, but that's never said, so you don't know. It is one of those things that's just kind of convenient for the plot.
Yeah. Chewie was pissed.
Now, was Han just kind of blowing him off right there because he just knew Leia was in there? She's like, I need to get here because I need to see Leia, because he didn't care that Rey was just
he passed right behind him.
So I was like,
first time we see Leia.
Mm-hmm.
In my theater, nobody cheered or clapped or anything.
It was the weakest.
I almost felt bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody's just reacting like, "Whoa, we haven't seen Carrie Fisher in a while."
It made me feel bad. What if Carrie Fisher was at a screening and everybody cheered for? Well, I'm sure if everybody knew she was at the screening, though, they probably would have cheered.
Yeah.
I had an applause at my theater. There was applause.
Really?
For her.
It was dead silence when she showed up.
Really? Mine was weak. Mine was audibly weak. You could tell there's a bit there's people yeah, and then somebody were like, oh yeah. I think.
Oh yeah.
I think Carrie looked great. Maybe not the. She hasn't been acting in a long time.
Yeah.
She is weird, but I think she looked good. She looked really good.
She looked much better than I expected her to. She really did.
I think the thing that annoys me the most with her is that her voice changed a lot. I think it's very different.
She sounds like she's talking with dentures in her mouth. It's weird. Like there were loose dentures in her mouth. It's so weird.
I think a couple decades of hard drug use might have.
Yeah.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Cocaine has done a number to her nostrils. Now these people who are sprinting, watch them. Where the hell are they going? They sprint to nowhere. If you look in the background.
Yeah, where are you going? They
Exactly.
gotta use the bathroom or something?
I love that. I noticed that one time. I was like, they're sprinting to nothing. And I know how they love doing the whole everyone's sprinting to something.
Yeah.
Here's the bromance happening. Right?
Oh yeah.
Ah, BB, yes, goes running towards him too. Yeah.
Yeah, BB was really just a great addition. You know, because it's hard to top R2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, BB held his own.
Should play some slow '80s music at this point.
Yeah. Don't want to close my eyes.
You keep my jacket, baby. It'll be all right.
Yeah, too. That part is like it suits you.
It suits
Oh
you.
man, he's in love.
But this does feel like, you know, when Luke and Han, you know, from episode 4 at the end,
Yes.
kind of has that vibe.
Yeah, because at first you can tell like Han's more like an older guy who's just trying to tell this kid to stay out of his way, and then they become friends. So it's like,
There's Carrie Fisher's daughter. Right?
yeah, they grew up behind. And who's the director right beside her too? I can't remember his name.
Is he a director now? Because he was an actor too. Like he would do like little side parts here
I
and
think
there.
I'm not sure, big director, but yeah, actors.
He was in Lost.
Director.
Am I right on that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Chewy likey.
Yeah.
Is that C-3PO?
Mm-hmm. Got the red arm.
The red arm.
He didn't. Akbar, the guy who voiced Akbar died.
Yep, he did.
Ah,
Unfortunate.
94 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
it's a trap.
Someone put up the first comment. It's a wrap.
I was gonna say something about Carrie Fisher. I forgot what it was though.
The reveal of R2, I think, was like, this is like something you see in like in a Disney ride.
Yeah, I got an applause for R2. No applause for Leia.
Yeah. R2 is a very fundamental character. I forgot about R2, honestly. I was wrapped up, and and that's good, because like, God damn, I wish R2 was here. Because if anything I liked about the prequels is R2 was actually quite funny.
He was. He really was.
His relationship
Especially
with
in 3.
Anakin. Yeah, his relationship with Anakin and even Obi-Wan. When they get on, when they're trying to rescue Dooku there, or the Emperor there, sorry, and he can't figure out the elevators or whatever is quite funny.
Like you can make an argument that C-3PO is annoying sometimes, but R2's never annoying.
I absolutely hate him.
He's charming.
Yeah. C-3PO is so annoying. I can't stand him. I can't.
He is annoying.
And apparently,
especially in
Anthony
episode
Daniels.
Episode 2 was the worst.
Right. Apparently, Anthony Daniels, the guy who plays C-3PO, is a huge asshole too.
Yeah.
Kind of smug British guy, I guess.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was Lawrence Kasdan when he came on for 5. He was like, there's nothing redeemable about C-3PO. Like, he's an asshole. He's annoying. So we got to try to
get rid of him.
Well, in episode 4, he was ditching R2. He didn't say one word, and he tells R2, "You should be grateful. You weren't gonna do shit to begin with." So I thought it was hilarious. I was like, "He's huge." My wife, even at the point, she's like, the first time watching, she's like, "That guy's kind of an asshole." I'm like, he really is.
What if C-3PO is really the kingpin of the whole thing, and everything is because of him?
He's the Jar Jar.
He's the Kaiser Soze.
Well, Anakin built them.
Well,
that's true. Anakin.
He lives in the whole thing, right?
The Red Arm. I think he was a communist for a couple of years.
Exactly. Yeah.
For sure.
Everything is because of C-3PO wanted it to be that way.
He was a first order sympathizer with that red arm.
I'll bet there's a fan theory out there on C-3PO. I'm gonna dig it up. There's gotta be.
This is a powerful.
Oh, here we go. Big scene right here. Daniel Craig. Maybe this is a Bond movie.
I like when he pops the helmet off and his hair is all super perfect like Fabio.
Yeah. I was
But
thinking that too. That's the first thing I thought. I was like, wow, his hair looks perfect.
you might as well have had a fan going through that thing too. Beyonce, all Beyonce like.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, he grew it long because like it's kind of long, girls, but like it's not that long.
Mm-mm.
That's one thing they do a lot in movies. You know, they always get that wrong. When somebody takes off a helmet, they always have like bedhead, but
Yeah.
not in movies.
No, it's so true. Those ashes there, they just talked about those. JJ just talked about that being the ashes
Yep.
of his the people he killed.
Right.
Yeah.
I just heard that theory.
So that's
Is that theory or is that truth?
That's truth. I believe JJ confirmed that.
Oh, cool. Wow. Well, Kylo Ren is a hard ass. You know what I mean? He is not he's spoiled
Mm-hmm.
and he's calculated, but he is really just he's dark.
What
He's
was the
ruthless.
theory?
The ashes that he puts his helmet in are the ashes of the people that he's killed.
Oh.
I'm
Yeah, like he doesn't even hesitate with Han Solo. Like really,
No.
I mean,
but he doesn't, but he does in the eyes, and that was subtle. That was
it was
great
really
acting.
really subtle. Like
Yeah.
95% of him is like evil in that scene, and it's like that little 5% just kind of breaks through.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that she was crying in that scene.
Yep. It's great. Great job by Daisy. Daisy
Yeah.
right there. It's so good.
Perfect hair. You know, most people didn't know Adam Driver before seeing Star Wars, and I think that might have played into some of the criticism that he got. But, you know, I had been watching Girls all along, and as soon as I heard Adam Driver got the part, I was like, oh, I can totally see that.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
no,
how I felt too.
Same, because he's good in Girls, but he's been a smaller part in a lot of other movies, and I thought he was good in all of them too. And he was
He's
in
a
Inside
unique
Llewyn
actor,
Davis.
though. He really is. He's got like a unique look to him, and his acting is definitely unique. You know, he's got these little ticks about him that are kind of different.
He's an interesting.
Is that Finn or is that the traitor?
This is FN 2187. This is
FN 2187.
with the bloody stripes on his head, with the finger stripes.
Oh, nice. Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think Adam Driver is good for this too because more and more's come out about his past.
He was a Marine.
Being a Marine, but then struggling when he came back, right? And then getting into acting and doing a bunch of different stuff like that. There's a lot of complexity behind that. There's a lot of things behind that. I think it adds definitely to the performance of Kylo Ren.
Yeah, he was on Howard Stern actually, like right before Force Awakens came out, and they had an interview. He's a very quiet type of guy too. Like he didn't. I don't even think he bothered to go to any of the premieres or anything for Star Wars.
I guess he doesn't even watch like hardly any of the stuff he's in.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't watch Girls. He doesn't watch. Just doesn't watch if he's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an introvert. Snoke.
So this is where the tension comes back between Kylo and Hux is because they, Kylo let the droid go and he thought he could get the information out of Rey. Now Hux has got the one up on him.
I like that. I like that they're not just chums. I like that they're kind of rivals a little bit.
And Kylo could easily just use the Force and do whatever to him, but he kind of keeps it on the level.
It's like Tarkin and Vader too, because really you see it in 4. Tarkin and Vader are not necessarily see eye to eye on everything.
Yeah, Tarkin talks down to Vader.
Yeah, and Tarkin is still kind of Darth Vader's boss in a lot of capacities and a lot of these things. So it's an interesting relationship, and they kind of do that again.
Yeah, like the other guys that are in Empire. Oh, Vader just has them under his thumb. I mean, it's funny because in Empire he kills just like that. He doesn't even think twice. Whereas he seems a little bit more reserved in New Hope.
There's your Daniel Craig.
Yeah. I did not know that this was Daniel Craig either the first time I saw it.
But
Well,
you
again,
know
it's
the
kind of hard
actress.
to tell.
Now she
What do
would
you
have
guys-
had to been taught that, right? How would she know that's something that would work?
Yeah. The Force.
Like it can't be.
Force moves through
It could be also a callback to how Obi-Wan did it, but it's also like where you're having her do it. So it's like she had to have been taught that somehow, some way,
Yeah.
or seen it being used.
Maybe when Kylo was searching around in her head, he left something behind.
Yeah.
It could have been like a subconscious type thing, you know what I mean? Like if you the Force, if you're like if the Force moves through you, then maybe the Force can subconsciously, help you out of that situation.
Here we are, Act 3.
Yep.
And the movie really hasn't like slowed down
No.
to any real
No.
whatsoever.
It's the pacing. It's just fine.
I literally think I could watch this back to back and not have any sort of problem.
Oh no, yeah,
I
definitely.
might do it. The Collider commentary is up. I like how they bring up the Death Star and Han's like, yeah, it's bigger. We can just blow it up, whatever. Like it's like their meta way of acknowledging, yes, this is another Death Star.
Yeah.
So what? It's big. It turns into a sun when it gets blown up too. I thought it was just a big explosion, but it actually turns into a sun.
I wish we would have had a Porkins ancestor in this.
No, grandson, not ancestor.
Yeah.
So Jonah Hill with like a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
So this is like a mixture of the original cast and like people from like JJ his past productions and things.
Yep.
Just peppered
Yeah,
in.
that's one thing this movie does so well. Like I think it's universally everybody agrees that they really mixed, the old and the new very well in this.
Mm-hmm.
And Lip's face is there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There he is, right there.
Yeah.
They said that the mask was much better. I guess it was like a puppet almost last time. This time they could actually have a little bit better mechanics on it.
Mm-hmm.
There's Han's hair again.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't know who the hell's
It's
doing
all
it.
over
Like,
the place.
we're going with homeless, so I don't care who. what
Yeah,
anyone
homeless
says.
all the way. If you're wrong, stay wrong. In the Marines, if you're wrong, stay wrong.
That's hilarious. This scene wasn't bad as seeing it in the trailer. I thought it was gonna be forced scene, but I liked the way they handled it.
He does look homeless.
Telling you. I think it was just like Harrison Ford pushing the hair person away. He's like, I got this.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we'll let him do it. Here, so you can really tell she's had some work.
Oh yeah.
Remember how much we were just talking over her putting her head on his shoulder, like, what is she crying about? What is it about?
Yeah.
Turns out it's just nothing.
Well, yeah. Some people thought Chewbacca was dead.
Yep.
I was one of them that thought Chewbacca might be dead. I think we talked about it on
over on my channel. I think we had a big discussion about that little moment right there alone.
Yep.
I wish they would have had a stormtrooper bump his head. Man, I'm serious. Like, you know how they did that in episode 2? They had Jango Fett. He bumped his head when he went into his ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's still time. We got 2 more.
Keep that continuity going.
There's still 2 more to go. Everybody talks like this is a trilogy in itself. We got time.
No, that is quite true. Yeah, you got to pace it.
I like the banter between Chewie and Han is just as good as it was before.
I am pulling up.
I do every time. Now this is like the scene after this is when the deleted scene they had of Kylo Ren going through the Millennium Falcon,
Yeah.
having his little nostalgic moment on his own.
Huh.
The thing I noticed too about the Millennium Falcon in this is it's not in space as much as the other ones. It's more in atmosphere, and the kind of like it hitting always the ground and stuff and skating along. It adds something. There's substance to that as well. That would be hard to pull off, So.
Well, yeah, because in space you can only just do so many little things, or if you have like the ship surrounding you, you can show more moves, but on the ground, yeah, like you said, you can show more maneuvers. This part got a good laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, this did get a good laugh.
That's not how the Force works.
But there's truth to that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost kind of like I kind of took it as a kind of a diss to some of the prequel stuff because the Force is just like kind of an afterthought in that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
everybody's kind of using it and like using it all the time versus kind of like I thought. Remember that scene with Anakin and Padme where he kind of takes the whole pair, and I didn't like that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, here we've only seen Kylo Ren and like maybe glimpses of Rey using it, so like we barely got to see it so far.
Yeah.
But I
think the one thing about the prequel that, or one of many things that's so bad, is the handling of the relationship between Anakin and Padme.
Yeah.
They failed on every single level cinematically with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was cringeworthy. And these are two characters that are just so important to this universe, and it's just handled so poorly, like one of those romance novels, really, and not a good one.
And
the relationship between Anakin and Sand is probably worse, but okay.
Yeah, it gets everywhere.
Natalie Portman has shown herself to be a quite capable actress too. So
yeah.
She dug herself out of that hole too.
Yeah. This is cool too when Rey's kind of doing her little rock climbing, but with the ship here.
Yeah.
And does anybody notice that she picks up the exact same piece here that she did in the beginning of the movie?
Oh.
She pulls out that thing or whatever from the inside.
I did not notice that.
Does that show how many times I've seen it already?
Now, which piece are you talking about, CP?
Well, it's a similar shot and everything. She reaches in and she pulls some. Oh, maybe not yet.
Okay.
See,
I don't know. I'm jumping the gun here.
Phasma. It's just, would she just kind of give up like that?
You think she'd put up a fight to some degree, like do some hand-to-hand combat of some sort.
Yeah, that might be the biggest letdown of the movie is Phasma.
Look,
because they're not expecting Phasma to be much more.
She can screw up Finn, no problem, because we know that he can't really do much. Harrison Ford, he's still good, but he's an old man.
He practically shoves that gun right up her helmet, too.
Yeah. This is good, too, because we got this kind of scene where everybody's doing the stuff at the base, and then you have the trench run type thing. Like, this is very similar to what we've seen.
Lips face.
Yep.
Lips face, yeah.
Now, did they build the Starkiller into the planet, or the whole planet is?
I think they built it in, didn't they?
Okay. I was like, why do they bother to make mountains if they were just going to build this?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a lot of extra work.
I think it's basically they just built it in.
I got to show here, Hux is freaking out. He's like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Another thing JJ does here is he likes the whip pan. It adds a lot, it goes.
Yeah, he does.
You have basically a lot of times you'd set up as two separate shots, but the whip pan adds movement. It adds that action.
And crash zooms too.
Yeah, the crash zooms. Yeah, you got to be careful with crash zooms. I think I'm not a big fan of the crash zoom, but it works here. They do it a couple times, and I think it looks good.
Oh yeah, it was really good in the Millennium Falcon chase in the beginning.
Yeah.
And see, when Hux sent those stormtroopers off, that basically was going to be that speed chaser or snow speeder chase that got cut out between those stormtroopers and Rey and Finn. Because I remember seeing a Lego set at Target that had the same troopers on there. I'm like, whoa, what's that? And then I remember seeing that they had cut out a whole scene, and I remember seeing it in the movie. It was a few times you're proud of yourself for realizing there was a whole scene before that, the way it was cut. And so going back and finding out, like, oh, they had a whole snow speeder chase that those stormtroopers were in, but they never used it.
That was good framing there too when Finn sees Rey out the window there.
I love the way the sequence looks. Looks gorgeous.
No, Finn can't understand Chewie.
Like, this looks like more Empire than it does New Hope. If you're looking at the backgrounds, to me.
Yep.
It does.
They blended a little bit of that, I think, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I like how the mountain's exposed within, like, what they built in there, so it kind of looks like a luxurious cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it'll be interesting because Rian Johnson is very fundamentally different of a different director than JJ, which is good because they're.
Yeah.
That's what I find the problem with some of these huge franchises. Everything starts looking the same. So Rian Johnson, he's a darker director. He's a slower director. Like he draws things out, and I think it would make sense because the next movie is going to be a lot of character growth. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah. I think he's going to do a great job. I mean, based on what I saw from him in Looper. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Looper is such a fantastic movie.
He does characters well. Looper, he does Breaking Bad. He did incredibly well in.
Yeah, that's right. I just ran through Breaking Bad again for like the third time, and I never noticed that Rian Johnson directed a few of those episodes.
Yeah, some of the biggest ones too. And Brick is a neo-noir classic, and by a lot of people's measure with just.
Oh, Brick! Yeah, Brick is a great one.
Yeah.
See that part right there, and then here comes CP that you're talking about.
Here's a shot. Yeah, right here.
Ah.
Same piece.
Huh.
It's like, man, did they build them the exact same way 30 years later?
Yep.
Go back and next time you watch the beginning, remember. It's a little light bulb
Big
thing.
scene coming up.
Nah.
I get Brick and the Lookout mixed up, Tyrell, sometimes.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
The Lookout, was that with Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
that was like early 2000s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
They're both good.
Bad.
Yeah, as soon as you see this scene, everyone in the audience is like, "Yep,
I knew."
I don't know what it is about this scene, but I knew. I mean, I knew immediately. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Well, we're almost 2 hours into the movie. We're like, we're waiting on some scene similar to this is gonna happen.
I'm surprised that it was ruined on Google for me before I saw that. I just remembered this when I went on Google and I typed Kylo Ren. And the first result was Kylo Ren kills Han.
Oh, man.
I was like,
see,
no.
There's a lot of things that we're in a place in society where there's so much saturation of media. So we've all heard the story about Harrison Ford not wanting to be Han Solo or wanting to kill him off, even though he said that's not true. He just didn't think. He thought it was right for the character to die.
Yes.
But it just seems that if that moment happened in 1980 whatever or the late 70s, it would be even bigger. I think it would have had an even bigger impact.
Oh, yeah.
We knew, even though I don't know how we knew, well, because of what I was saying, but like it almost takes it away a little bit. Not to say it wasn't great. It's just kind of different,
Well, it's like, I agree, we know too much about the actors themselves and his personal opinion about Han, so we knew that it's a definite possibility.
Yeah.
The internet's a dangerous place. It really is, because it's hard. I mean, you have to try to not get spoiled on something. You really do. You have to avoid pretty much all social media for movies like this and like Batman v Superman, and I pretty much make it a point to, if I'm wanting to go see something a week before, I try to stay away from it.
Yeah.
Really badass moment when he screams out Ben. You're like, ooh, called him by his name.
Yeah.
That's
Sounds like a true dad yelling at his
Mhm.
kid.
Yep.
that's the Luke, the I'm your father type thing. This whole moment.
Yeah, it makes me wonder what kind of relationship they had. Like how long has this been since he was actually his father?
Yeah.
More visual storytelling coming up too.
Yes, the
Yeah,
light.
the light and the red.
This
Right.
is also all blue screen for the most part. It looks pretty good.
It looks really good. I remember, Tyrell, when we did a Star Wars discussion, and I brought up how the light kind of changed.
Yep.
And yeah, you remember that?
I do remember that. Theo, I think, was.
And you were talking about how you say a lot more through images than you do through words.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's a good point.
Psychologically, we all know what these things. We understand symbols. We understand what color means in different situations. We know that.
Yeah.
So it works.
Yeah, you made a good point there.
And for people watching this, when he drops the helmet, the thud, such a good thud,
Mm-hmm.
That's a great thud.
Just the sound is so good in this movie.
It is.
Some blue on his face at the moment, and it slowly goes away, and that's.
You can see it behind him. Look, you got red on one side, you got blue on the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You see the little bit of tears there in the eye.
Yep.
The acting in this scene's great too.
Yeah,
you didn't really get that in the prequels.
Yeah.
Watching the rehearsals of this gives a little bit different vibe.
Really?
Yeah, the deleted scenes and the behind the scenes stuff. But yeah, lots of emotion. It's something that we didn't get a lot of the prequels, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I have to give credit to any of the acting in the prequels, I'd probably say in Episode 3 between Obi-Wan and Anakin. That's probably the closest we got to, to heartache and pain and.
Yeah, the brother part, like you were my brother.
Yeah, you were my brother. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I did choke up when I saw Episode 3.
Now the red consuming his face.
Yep.
Yeah.
Completely.
That is storytelling right there.
There was that good moment though, like we knew it was coming, but at the same time, almost you thought that it could, maybe,
Yeah. There it is.
And then he goes in for the extra,
Mm-hmm. Get a little deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just thank you for completing his transformation to the dark side.
At the same time, you almost feel for Kylo Ren, and that's good too because there's pain there. So you got to think, this was Han Solo inevitably accepting his death because he knew he was a terrible father, and
And the hand on the face too, like.
Yeah.
Now there's some people saying, "Is Han dead?" Because we didn't see.
The planet exploded.
How can you say that?
He fell. He got stabbed, fell, and the planet imploded.
And you got Leia wondering where her keys are.
Holy fuck! God,
she forgot something. She just can't put her finger on it.
Shit, I think I had cookies in the oven.
I need to find that. He needs another hit of that Coke,
Leia's wondering if she flushed the Coke in the toilet or not.
And in all seriousness, though, that element there of the Force, that she never fully accepted it, but still has that ability to connect.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Carrie, though, because there was that picture that she had that extra long nail, and everybody was asking her if she was, using that fingernail for some other things. She's like, no, I wasn't. She's a well-respected script doctor. She's fixed a lot of shitty scripts. People just don't know because she doesn't put her name on anything. But she's had a career as a script doctor, and she's worked on quite a few movies, including Star Wars 1, 2, and 3. She tried to help Lucas fix some of the scripts.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, how does Kylo Ren beat them out here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he was already there waiting.
How?
It's supposed to be suspension of
He
disbelief.
just got to make it dinner.
Another thing that bothers me, that clip that we saw in the teaser of him walking into the forest, we don't get that.
No, we don't.
He's just there waiting.
But look, he looks so young here now. You know, and he looks like a different character almost.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a little boy that's been put in timeout, and now he's gonna have a tantrum.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? What's interesting is Kylo. I like the when he's hammering
Psyching himself up, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say was Kylo really is Vader directly after Episode 3. You know,
In a lot
see
of ways.
a parallel there.
Yeah.
Like the Vader that we didn't see, you know?
Yeah.
Because I always wondered, what's Vader like when he first becomes Vader, you know, those first, like, maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
I'd like to see what his journey was there.
Hopefully we get to see that in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you know he had some trials.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Finn getting it handed to him.
Somebody murdering a dog?
No, I like the scene. It was raw. Like it wasn't choreographed. It didn't seem choreographed. It seems like two people who are skilled enough.
Well, yeah, because really, who would be teaching any of there's no finesse there because there's nobody to teach you.
I mean, I remember hearing somebody talk about. They're like, "Well, Kylo Ren should just wipe the floor with him." Well, he's also fighting with one hand, so he's kind of playing with them. Two, Kylo Ren doesn't really. He hasn't probably had too many lightsaber battles, only to kill people who don't have a lightsaber.
He got shot in the gut, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, and he just ups Finn there at the back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that was... Oh, that had to hurt.
So here's where I thought we were gonna see Luke.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yep.
I was like, Luke's gonna grab that.
Which would have been so epic.
I thought Luke was gonna come, take the lightsaber, and run away. I didn't think he was gonna fight necessarily.
Just snag it and just take off.
I thought he was gonna take Rey too, but like. Yeah.
I thought Luke was going to run through the forest with Yoda on his back.
doing a handstand.
Yeah.
And here we go. This is the fight.
That's part I really like too.
This is
gonna be that.
Yeah.
And she's using it again like a staff. You know what I mean? Like.
In the forest and the snow too, man. What a great setting.
The trees falling down too is great.
Yeah. Really great.
But this is good. You know, people are like, "Oh my God, Rey's too good. There's no way."
Yeah. And this,
and it's on the set. That was all on the set.
This feels like a fighting style similar to the original trilogy too. It's not like super fast paced and
it's
like the original. Like the prequel trilogy.
Well, they're focusing on the cockpits and not like you're getting aerial shots and different angles like the prequels were. They're
doing backflips and all kinds of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know, like, if there's a theme in color palettes with dominant colors, because it seems like we're going through like a bluish purple right now.
Yep.
And it was green a little bit before this.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know if there's something there.
Well, I'm sure you can. They always do those compressions of like the color schemes in movies. You could probably look and see what this palette is.
Because it's pretty much purple here.
Yeah, Star Wars has always had a strong association with color in terms of tone, so definitely.
We got a trench run. I like how he takes it upon himself to get in there and just finish off the job. It's like, you know what, let's just do this, and then...
Dink, dink, dink. All right, we're done.
I kept thinking he's going to blow up from these explosions flying through him.
Cheap video game level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is much better than Anakin in Episode 1.
Accidentally I'll try a roll. That works.
Yeah, I know. Everything worked for some reason.
You're going to get us both killed.
Yeah. So bad.
And again, she's running away. She's not really trying to fight him. I don't get what people's big gripe with, her being so good. Yeah.
That's the power of Star Wars, though. Like, we force ourselves to watch movies that we know are bad.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is a set, and it doesn't feel like a set.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now the ground falling behind him is falling behind him right here, but then she ends up on the other. It falls down again, and she is able to run away. It's weird. It's one of those
Just take it easy.
disbelief. Yeah.
Enjoy the show.
Yes, exactly. One of those moments.
Well, that's a beautiful moment right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily sold on the dialogue, to be honest.
Yeah.
That was one thing I'm like, oh, okay, that's Star Wars dialogue right there. But in terms of image composition, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Wow, that is just beautiful. Beautiful to look at.
Mm-hmm. Just imagine her naked too.
Now, someone
Who said that?
you have him in trance. Did she get him in trance there, or she? I couldn't ever figure out if she had him in a trance, or if it was just like that moment of like slow motion of her figuring out she's about to use the Force.
Mm.
I think it was it was a trance of sorts. It was this Force thing. She understanding a little bit more, and him getting a little bit more uneasy with it. There's a connection because all Force is connected, right? So they're feeling each other out essentially in a non-sexual way, of course, but
yeah, could be a little bit of fight or flight there too, you know.
Yeah.
She's clearly not afraid anymore, though.
No.
Yeah, putting the saber out in the snow was awesome.
At first, I was like, "Holy fuck! Did she chop off his head?" And then I was like,
Yeah, me too. I thought that for a sec.
And then it's like, nope, just effed him up.
They didn't pull a Darth Maul, did they?
No, yeah, I was like, "Oh, please, no!" I want Kylo Ren, I want Hux, I want Phasma, and I want them all to be in all three.
They got to stretch it out a little bit. You got to really hate Kylo a little bit more.
Yeah. I would feel so cheated if he died.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Me too.
Because if anything, like even though Maul died, Maul was nothing. You know, Maul was really.
Bites your tongue.
Yeah.
I like this scene because it brings a realism to the whole thing. Like these guys they're like, I'm out of here, man. This shit is going down.
Well, and it makes sense because they destroyed the Death Star twice in the other movie, and just millions of people die, and they
instantly.
Yeah.
Dude, my uncle was on that Death Star. I'm not sticking around for this shit.
It could have been Gary the Stormtrooper from Robot Chicken down there.
They don't pay me enough. Sorry.
I mean, just imagine if Kylo's only line was, "If the trace is correct, we could find them quickly, Master."
Here's the most confusing scene of all the trailers.
Oh.
Yeah. Thought it was Chewbacca. Goddamn.
Yeah. See, and then when you look at it, you're like, where is that hair supposed to be? I think they just added that in there just to confuse people.
Let's make them think it's Chewbacca.
Yeah. Exactly.
I remember CP even told me, like, at one time, CP was like, I think they're going to kill Chewbacca.
Yeah, because you could see, like, mm-hmm.
Like, CP would have put money on it.
I would have.
Yeah.
I really would have, because sucker me.
Yeah.
They did. There's hair in there. It's just like, what hair is on that jacket that I'm looking at? Because...
Here gets a big explosion, and I'm like, oh, the explosion's going to go away, but it just turns into a sun from all the energy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Science, bitch.
It's science.
That's a Breaking Bad moment.
Pretty hot.
5 of us and the Millennium Falcon took the whole damn thing down.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of people feel cheated by this moment where we don't get Chewbacca going.
I thought they were going to get ran over by that goddamn thing. It was coming in so hot.
Yeah, Chewbacca's response to Han, I don't know, it didn't, I wasn't buying it.
Yeah, no hug, and then 3 seconds of Chewie just mourning.
JJ tried to explain it, but the fact of the matter is, it's not even the fact that he doesn't. We wouldn't have known as much as the fact that they used the shot where Chewbacca just walks right by her.
Yeah, right by her. They left that in the movie.
They shot that. They could have cropped it in and got him out of there, or shot it differently. And then you see him slightly back there with the rest of the group.
Just chilling out by himself.
Chilling out. What's up, guys?
He's like, hey, anyone want to give up a hug for this guy?
Yeah.
My best friend just died, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No love for Chewie.
2-3 seconds, that's it.
Chewie's gonna mac it with that chick that heals him.
Oh, yeah.
No, Maz, she wants some of that.
That would make some interesting.
Chewie's a pimp.
Yeah.
So here the magical R2 comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Now everyone's like, was it Rey? Was it the presence of Rey? But she, I don't know.
No.
I think it's just like plot
Some said that Luke
convenience.
made him come back to life.
R2 is always that character that brings something to someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Yub nub.
He brings the coat to Carrie Fisher.
Already lined up on a mirror.
Yeah. He's got this little compartment tray that comes out of him. It's got the coat.
Say thank you, R2. You're my only hope.
Oh, and then here we go, BB-8, the new one, throwing it in.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh wait, I got this. He says.
Like, shouldn't everybody else have figured that out
Yeah.
immediately? It's like looking at one of those puzzles that has 5 pieces for little kids.
You know what? For
That
as
one
much
guy looks like Stanley Tucci.
Yeah.
He really
It
does.
does. It's like a
It's just like him.
version.
for as much as Jar Jar was a miss, I would say BB-8 is a slam dunk.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's like the opposite of Jar Jar.
Mhm.
Yeah, people love him.
Yeah.
He said going home.
Now I thought that
Thank God there was none of that.
I thought Finn got his spine basically removed or split. So how's he laying on his back?
Yeah, he's good.
We're in the future. Don't worry about
They
it.
replaced it with a thing.
He's got a metal spine now.
He really should have been face down, but maybe that's just doesn't look great.
He's not gonna get a kiss if he's face down.
Yeah.
It would look awkward if he was face down, to be honest. It would.
Oh yeah,
It would.
It would totally look awkward. And
How do we like this scene?
the May the Force be with you.
That's okay. I think the dress that she's wearing is terrible.
It looks like a Star Trek, like when the committee, the board on the Star Trek,
Yeah.
and the Star Wars movie.
For Carrie losing so much weight and looking really good, it kind of makes her look a little fat, to be honest.
Says does this suit make me look fat? Nah, it's your face.
Tyrell going for the jugular.
But yeah,
Fat bitch.
That little nod from Chewie was nice to acknowledge, hey, you're the new pilot now. I guess there's no merit involved in the hierarchy of the Millennium Falcon. Shouldn't Chewie become the pilot and she become the co-pilot?
yeah. Listen to this stuff. Chewie owes a life debt to Han. Now,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now he's like, I don't owe a life debt to you.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just here for the ride, though.
I must say too, Mark Hamill was really fat for a number of years when he wasn't doing much, and he lost so much weight. What did he lose?
Yeah.
Like 50
Yeah,
pounds.
like-
Beard really helps too.
Yeah, 50
Hey,
plus.
listen, $25 million is
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Do
yeah.
a lot.
that's
And-
quite a carrot.
And a personal trainer and chef. Yeah.
Yeah, when Walt Disney helps you out,
Yeah.
shit, I'll go on a diet. Walt Disney pays for it.
$25 million for a new Star Wars movie, though. Drop in the bucket. Here,
Did
take
he
it,
get
please.
paid that much for just this movie, or just
No,
that
Han got it for this, and they got it for the trilogy.
Yeah.
They got like 7 and change each.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because also, I believe Harrison Ford has a percentage of the gross profit as well.
God damn.
Like 0.5%, which is still a ton. And
Yeah.
JJ has like,
That's only $27 million.
yeah, only.
Wow.
I think JJ's got 2%, which is
Oh.
not to mention he probably gets salarized for director, for writer, and producer.
Oh man. I'll
Plus,
take scale for all of it.
and that's just this movie. He's involved in so much more.
He's EP on the next two too.
Yeah.
Here's the scene everybody was waiting for.
Now, I have problems with this scene, to be honest.
Really?
I don't like how she holds the lightsaber out. This is just nitpicking stuff, but like,
Yeah.
she holds the blade to him, like the igniter thing, like in his face.
Is it like that scene where Luke looks directly into the lightsaber?
Yeah, like
when he first opens it up and almost chops Obi-Wan's head off.
I think you would. I think you'd take the lightsaber and hold it out like this, like with both hands, and we'll get the shot.
Is that a grave that he's standing next to? Does anyone know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Is that a grave?
It's Ray's mom. Come on, guys.
Yeah, of course. It's Ray's other sister or brother.
Nice, Tyrell. I like that idea.
Yeah.
No, I think I agree, Tyrell. I like the scene. I think it could have been cut. That last scene where it's painting around. I wish that could have been cut out, and they would.
That looks like that looks like a terrible TV documentary.
Yeah, exactly. It looks not. It looks like Peter Jackson in the Hobbit when he threw in that stupid whatever cam in there.
I thought it looked kind of choppy too. You get a drone in there, it looked way better. They used a helicopter. It was kind of.
You could tell. The quality definitely shifted.
And her face is like, huh? You? This?
Like, is this yours? It doesn't have your name on it, but I think it's yours.
You?
Back up, bitch. You don't want to turn that on.
Even his face is confusing to read. You're like, what? Is he pissed? Is he like, is that mine?
He's like, you dumb C word.
Oh, I haven't seen a woman in 20 years.
You came to the wrong place.
Well, that was it, ladies.
That was it, guys. It flew by. It really did.
It did, honestly.
Yep.
Before you knew it, we were already getting ready to take out the third Death Star.
I'm surprised they didn't put "fuck you, George Lucas."
That was the first line in the movie. That was what the fuck you was. But man, awesome, guys! Thank you so much.
I had fun.
As the first commentary, I had a great time, so I can't wait to do more.
Yeah.
For
Batman
everybody
v Superman, when it comes out on Blu-ray, can we do it?
Of course.
Lock it in.
We can even do Deadpool, and I am going to try to. And
I'm in.
On top of doing blockbusters, I'm going to try to pick some shitty comedy or shitty movies that we can watch and actually have a good time with as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see,
Awesome.
see about those. But yeah, thanks everybody who watched today, who watched along with the movie. Hopefully, you get to watch over and over and over. Now we got the Blu-ray out until we get Rogue One, and then we can sit our asses back in the theater. But like I said, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks my guests for being on. I will let every one of you let everybody know where they can find you. Starting off, Lee, where can everybody find you?
I am at DrumDums. You can find me at DrumDums on Twitter, Facebook, Letterboxd, all that crap.
Nice. Any upcoming projects you want to promote?
Right now I'm in the middle of my Nightmare on Elm Street reviews, but I just did a Blade review yesterday, and then today they dropped news that they're going to do a Blade reboot with maybe Michael B. Jordan. So my timing was impeccable.
You inspired them. It was your
I think they saw my review, and they said, let's get this going.
You're like, you know what? Lee's all about it. Sign the papers. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Very nice.
So, yeah.
Well, everyone go check out the Blade review on the channel and upcoming stuff. Tyrell, what about you?
Oh, yeah. You can find me at youtube.com/TyrellListen on Letterboxd and Twitter as well. I'm dropping a new series next week, and I will be dropping the first trailer for that in the coming days, so watch out for that. It'll be a good collaboration with a lot of other YouTubers. So it'll be fun, and check everybody else out here on this great commentary panel, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. CP, what about yourself, sir?
I'm CP from What I Like It Reviews. I don't have anything. I'm taking a little bit of a personal break. Life's kicking my ass, so I'm just taking a break. Happiness. Go check these other guys out.
Yeah, of course. Everyone go check out CP's past videos and hopefully count on those videos for now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's go check everybody else out. It's fine. I'll be back someday.
Awesome. We'll see you soon enough. And then for me, you can find me, Circus of Time Review, on YouTube and Twitter, and also on Instagram as well. And we're just going to keep the podcast going. This was considered the Star Wars podcast for this month. So next week, not sure what we're going to have up, but we'll figure something out. So everyone stay tuned. Follow me on Twitter and find out when the next episode is. But again, thanks to everybody for watching. Thank you to my guests for coming on. And we'll see everybody next time. And be excellent to each other. See you guys later.
Boom. Thank you.